this land inspires me. I already have enough ideas to fill an entire book of poetry. Famous? Perhaps. Some people like my poems, and that is enough for me. But you want an orc poem. What particular topic intrigues you? War? Blood? Revenge? I know a decidedly graphic verse advocating the benefits of evisceration. A love for an orc? Are we talking about the same orcs? The violent, bad-tempered, warlike people? Those orcs? I'm not certain they write about love. Certainly not like the Bretons or Nords. Perhaps I could interest you in a Wrothgar love sonnet. Let me think. Oh, of course. Have you heard the poem about the warrior and the axe she loves? Ode to a Battle Axe, I believe it is called. I suppose I could change a word or two, and it might suffice for your purposes. Indubitably. I'll just change my axes to my lady loves, and fills me with a lust for blood becomes fills me with a lust for you. Not up to my usual standards, but I think you'll agree that it has a certain charm.
my head. Did anyone see where that rolling...
Before all this Orsinium nonsense, people used to respect the privacy of the noble recluse. Congratulations, you found me. What are you? Another lovelorn cub trying to win the affection of an orc who's too good for you? Away with you! My ale takes months to brew, and I won't part with what I have left so you can have an evening of passion. What's so... Listen here, outsider. I use only the finest ingredients and freshest spring water to brew my ale. Not to mention the 7 secret spices and the 100-year-old yeast I inherited from my mother. It packs a kick and does the trick. Orcs aren't worth their weight in Horker stew without a romantic urge and a healthy taste for good ale. But yes, my special brew has been known to accentuate the urge, especially in women. That's why I stay out here and keep my batches small. Rare Nord. Is this? It is. I've heard of Volyard's buzzmead, but I've never had the opportunity to try it. All right, fine, let's trade. I wonder if they really put a bee in the bottle. Volyar's buzzmead! Listen, it actually buzzes! I can't wait to take a swig. What in the name of Malakath's left tusk? Why are there so many bees? Ah! Ah!
Oh, my head. Hey! Where's my brother? Have you seen Raynor anywhere around here? Oh, that's just great. I fall unconscious for a moment or two and Raynor runs off into the wilderness without me. It was that dwarven power core you got for us in Zithganthars. Raynor had to go and tinker again. That's always how the trouble starts. He decided to rebuild one of those dwarven sphere things. And of course he had to make alterations. Nothing's ever good enough as it is for my brother. The sphere went berserk and knocked me out. And now Raynor's missing. This is bad. Really bad. They could be anywhere. Raynor probably went after the dwarven sphere to keep it from causing more damage. Oh, I know. I think there's a way you can follow the sphere too. Find his latest tinker project and you'll find Raynor, guaranteed. Take this. Raynor has a technical name for it, but I call it a lightning prod. My brother uses it to control dwarven constructs, but it can also be used to track a construct's energy discharge. Look for a place where the sphere expended a lot of energy, like by that burning wreckage over there. Then just take out the lightning prod, and you should get an indication of where the sphere went next. Go ahead and give it a try over there. I'll gather up Raynor's tinkering tools and follow you. Once I catch up, we can help Raynor disable that rolling monstrosity. But don't wait for me! Raynor needs you. Now get going!
This isn't good. The sphere's core is deteriorating at an alarming rate. If I don't reach it soon... oh, hello there. Nothing to see here. Feel free to move along. We can catch up later, say, back in Orsinium, over drinks. Kirith? Then the sphere didn't hurt her too badly? Thank the three for that. Wait a moment. Is that the modified energy detection and absorption rod? It is! That's just what we need to repair the sphere. I think Kirith refuses to employ the correct terminology just to annoy me. But I suppose that's what sisters do. No matter, though. She always comes through in the end. Now that we have the rod, we can repair the sphere and set things right. Disable my latest creation? After I went to all this trouble? Why in the world would we do that? It will be a simple enough matter to use the rod to absorb the power core's excess energy. Then the sphere should settle down and behave. Theoretically. When it comes to Dwemer technology, everything is theoretical. But I am an expert on the subject, so my theories are better than most. The faulty power core drove the sphere crazy with excess energy. Once we drain that energy, it will be fine. Exactly! Use the rod to detect the sphere's energy discharge and expose an afterimage. You can follow that directly to the sphere. When you find the sphere, use the rod to drain the excess energy. But don't attack the sphere. That would be bad. Bad, as in really bad. Do you know what happens if you breach the seal of the power core while you're hacking and bashing at the sphere? Well, immediately unleashing all that energy would rearrange the local landscape in a very explosive fashion. If I know my sister, she's right behind you with my tinkering tools. I'm going to need them to repair the sphere. You go ahead. Once Kirith arrives, we'll follow. Just be careful. There's no telling what the sphere will do in its current condition.
What you did, but it's much appreciated. Now, I just need to wake up my weakling companions and get out of here before the Reachmen arrive. Sure, can't you smell them? We were packing our gear when that clanking monstrosity rolled in. At first, the sphere just rolled around and poked at everything. Then one of my hunters attacked it and it got meaner and faster. The sphere zoomed around the camp. Every time one of my hunters got close, it shocked them. Then it started smoking and sparking. And that's when the fire started. I was trying to figure out what to do when you came along. We followed after you as fast as we could. What happened to the sphere? And what's with all these fires? Was anyone hurt? Oh, Mother Morrowind, what have we done? Well, thank the three for that. Raynor still has an insane notion that he can repair the crazed construct. But after seeing this, I'm even more determined to make sure the sphere is destroyed. At least it didn't attack you. You need to use the prod again and find it before it does any more damage to the countryside. Raynor and I will make sure these hunters are all right. It's the least we can do. Then we'll follow after you. Once the sphere is destroyed, I'll feel a lot better. Until then, it's like there's a knot in my chest and someone is pulling it tight.
I'm sure that one more use of the rod will drain the sphere and rectify its frenzied behavior. Then I'll be able to safely repair it. I'm certain everything will work out fine. Well, mostly certain. Anyway, go find that sphere. Nonsense. I'm sure it was nothing more than a misunderstanding. And none of the orcs looked like they were seriously injured. I'm certain the sphere never meant to hurt them. It was just curious. You have an annoying habit of focusing on the negative aspects of a situation. Do you know that? Look, the sphere didn't kill anyone. I think it came here to help. It was just following its nature. When I rebuilt it, I altered it to be my assistant. The perfect helper, as it were. I think it rolled into the camp to help the hunters do, well, whatever it is hunters do. Don't you understand? This is terrific news. Am I speaking too fast? Let me explain this another way. The sphere is doing exactly what I designed it to do. It's working perfectly. Or rather, it would be if I could drain off the excess energy. I think one more use of the rod should do it.
A pox upon me! I didn't think I'd survive to tell my tale to another living soul. I swear this is true. Kinnereth, blind me if I tell a lie. My cart got stuck on that hillock over there, and my guar weren't strong enough to pull it free. I despaired of getting my goods out of this desolate land when it rolled up. Believe me, stranger, I know not what it was. A ball of steel and sparks that unfolded into the shape of a man. I fell back as it set itself to pushing my cart. At first, I thought Zenithar had blessed me, but the cart would not come free. The metal man sparked some more, and my goods caught on fire. My guar burst their harness and ran, and the cart gave way. It shattered. You see the result over there. The metal man paused, curled up into a ball, and rolled off. That stupid sphere rolled right up to my stupid brother like nothing happened. It's like it thinks it's his damn pet or something. A dangerous, demented pet made out of metal and gears, but a pet all the same. Of course I think it needs to be destroyed. Don't you? This time my brother tinkered around with something that was extremely dangerous. We're just lucky nobody was seriously injured by that thing. My brother rarely agrees with me about anything. Why should this time be any different? But the point of the matter is that we need to destroy that construct. If you talk to him, I'm sure you can get him to see the logic in that.
Look at this little guy. He's not a metal monster, no matter what Kirith may think. He was just drunk on the excess energy the damaged power core was giving off. I'll have him fixed up in no time. Of course! Why would I want to do anything else? With a few minor adjustments, this little sphere will be as good as new. My sister. I suppose she wants to destroy the poor thing. Hit it. That's her solution to every problem. But important research can be dangerous. Real scholars understand and accept that. Just give me the lightning prod and I'll take care of it. I can alter the frequency of the rod to recalibrate the sphere's energy dampeners to better regulate the amount of energy flowing through it. Simple as making a kwama egg omelette. Really. Wait! Where are you going? Come back, little construct.
Really? That was your plan? Let my brother fix the homicidal construct? You should have just given a sharp axe to an angry orc. We'd all be a lot safer. No, don't worry about it. This kind of thing happens to us all the time. I'll take care of it. If you hear a loud boom in the distance, it was probably us. But thanks anyway. I'm sure we couldn't have gotten to this point without you.
Have you come for my cheese? That seems to be the only thing anyone ever wants to talk to me about these days. That old hearthwife's tale again. Yes, Wooly here gives the best milk in 7 strongholds. And yes, Wooly's milk makes the most delicious and smooth and creamy cheese in all of Wrothgar. But its amorous attributes have been greatly exaggerated. Well, I didn't say that. The quality of Wooly's milk, combined with my secret processes, does add a tinge of arousal with every bite you take. But cheese, even my cheese, won't make an orc fall in love with you. It's not magica, you know. Curdled mammoth cheese? That's a Nord delicacy. I mean, I suppose that would be a fair trade. Just remember that Wooly's cheese can be rather potent. A little goes a long way when it comes to romancing an affectionate orc.
too salty. One handful of salt next time. More than enough to serve brain pockets at the competition. I do believe I perfected the recipe with my earlier batch. Would you care for a taste? They're especially crisp. Here you go. Pull it apart with your hands and scoop out the... Yes, like that. So, how is it? Isn't it juicy? The grass casing draws the bile from the brain mash, which gives it a good snap. This is an old recipe from Shatul. They travel well, and the harpy bile is a natural preservative. I'm glad to hear it. I hope the King's Hearthwife has a similar experience. I have a drink and an appetizer, but I need a few more dishes before I'm ready to enter the competition. The main course requires more planning. For now, I need a dessert. The ingredients are closer this time. It'll be a walk through an ogre-infested park. You'll want to look for Echater moss, preferably untouched by any Echater. It's the subtle glue which will hold the ogre heart and intestines together. There's no actual glue. It's just an expression. Of course. It thrives in freezing temperatures, which is why it's confused for a weed. It's actually quite healthy to eat for Echater and people alike. Try to get the stuff before the Echaters do. The taste of their drool would not add to the dish. There's an ogre outcast who's said to eat nuts, berries, and vegetables, never meat. It's like the opposite of a Valenwood Bosmer. Think how tender his organs must be. I know, I had the same idea, but I asked a priest of Malakath who assured me ogre innards were commonly found in ancient orc dishes. Does this mean the Daedric Prince of Vengeance favors pies? I forgot to ask the priest. That's what I thought. So, I hunted down a cultist of Namira. After a series of beatings, he confirmed the Lady of Decay would strike him with 5 kinds of pox if he offered up a slice of ventricle pie. 2 Daedric princes agree. Not cannibalism. Of course.
Did Orzorga say brain pocket? Is that what she's cooking?
Don't worry, brains. They're far sweeter. I heard.
Interesting taste. But nobody will eat a dish that smells like old greaves. Perfect! Ventricle pie requires the freshest ingredients. Ogre hearts don't exactly keep unless you bake them quickly. I have one last slice from my previous attempt. You're welcome to it. Here you go. Have a slice. Large bites, as the chiefs of old would do. So, how did it turn out? It must be a reaction to the ogre intestines. I assure you I cleaned them thoroughly before... No! It's the Eschater moss. I should have broiled before baking. Try running your tongue across your teeth, back and forth as fast as you can. They say it's a real tusk cleaner. It should round out the meal nicely. Thanks to your efforts, I have ingredients for everything but the main course. We've come this far. If it's no trouble, I'd like you to procure what I need. I need something to draw the attention of the cultural competition judges. Something spectacular. That's why I want to cook a stew inside a bear's head. You with me? The glacial tomato features in this dish, so bring me a bundle. Also, some tundra truffles and a decent amount of Durzog lichen. As for the bear head, I want you to take it from Gnarlfang's shoulders. Bastard ate my shipment of coffee beans. Of course. It's just a tomato. We call them glacial because the cold soil gives them a richer flavor. There's a small patch near Orsinium. The farmer and I are on good terms, so grab what you need. Tundra truffles are delicacies fit for a chief. Look near the old aqueduct, in areas without snow. Durzog lichen is spread around when Durzog migrate. It's where they were, not where they are. The seeds catch in their paws or something. Location, really. Also, snow truffles have a very distinct flavor. While delicious, they would overpower the dish. On its own, the tundra truffle is far more subtle, but it is perfect for bringing other tastes to the forefront. Say what you want about tradition. I think orcs first turned a bear head into food because it looks amazing. All the rest is hot smoke up the flue. The preferred meal of Baloth Bloodtusk himself, if you believe the Orsinium vendors. Which you shouldn't. Ventricle pie doesn't sound bad. It should sound bad, like something Dindon would eat.
I was raised in Windhelm. You know what? Go try some. I'm sticking to rations.
You make more noise than a mountain bear in heat. I heard you coming from an arrow's flight away, and I smelled you from 2. Is there something I can do for you? Perfume? Orcs don't wear perfume. Only Bretons and fancy elves enjoy that flowery stink. Why in the world would you think I wear perfume? Rigert? The Nord ambassador? He seemed friendly enough. We met while I was visiting with my clan chief. What's this really all about? Tell me and maybe I can help. That sly dog. I knew he liked Lazditha. But the only perfume an orc woman loves is the smell of battle and the scent of our enemy's blood. An orc chief often fights a powerful foe before wooing a wife. My chief reeked when he asked for my hand. As a matter of fact, I've been tracking the Great Bear Norgim for days. It's smart and strong, definitely worthy of Lazditha. Norgim hunts in the nearby streams. Get some of that stink on Rigert, and Lazditha will melt with desire. I guarantee it.
I heard a rumor that someone braved the lightless oubliette and saved the last Ayleid king.
Are you headed back to the city? I need to see a healer. I'm in real pain here. What's wrong with me? Just look! My guts are busted all to pieces. See how swollen my ankle is? I'm on death's doorstep here and no one cares. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were a master healer. Everyone knows that when you get your guts beaten up, the juices gather down in your ankles. Don't play dumb. Look, you can't tell me how to feel. I get enough of that from Stugrush. You weren't there. All that snow and ice crashing down on us. We should all be dead as drunk mice on a Morndas. It's damn near a miracle any of us survived. An avalanche? Try 6 avalanches. That mountain is cursed. There's something wrong with it, and I don't have any interest in finding out what it is. I just need to go back home, see a healer about my, my injuries, and that's that.
You again. You make a habit of showing up when my lady needs you. Suppose that means we're gonna make another attempt to reach that wretched summit after all. Go present yourself to my lady. She should be coming down the trail at any moment. This is Sorrow. Apt name, don't you think? The House of Orsimer Glories in Orsinium engaged my lady's services to find the shrine of Torag Groigron. It supposedly waits at the snowy top. No one's attempted to climb it in years, yet here we are. Only if you consider vile beasts, freezing winds, and falling ice to be a problem. We tried to climb the mountain 3 times now, and each failure was more spectacular than the last. If you're interested, Lady Laurent could really use the help. This expedition has really proved to be more troublesome than Lady Laurent anticipated. I hate to say it, but I think this time Sorrow might be more than she bargained for. Famous treasure hunter. I'm sure you've heard of her. We travel the land searching for hidden treasures, secret relics, and other mystical things. I'm not at liberty to tell you much about our work, but it's very important. The House of Orsimer Glories. It's Orsinium's fledgling museum. They hired experts like my lady to scour the countryside for ancient relics related to Wrothgar's history, to display them. Instant culture for the tourists, you see. Legends claim that a powerful relic was buried with Orsinium's founder. At Torag's shrine, my lady hopes to find the armlet of Torag, the bracelet that gave him the power to tame the wilderness. Now, if only Karsten would stop arguing with her. Karsten works for the museum and has been serving as our liaison and cultural expert. It has become clear that he and my lady disagree about a great many things. He's really beginning to try Lady Laurent's patience, I'm afraid to say.
Malakath Thumpet, what do you want? Yeah, I'm fit as a sodding fiddle, can't you tell? Ah, of course I'm not all right. That damn mountain beat the piss out of us. Not your fault. Something about this mountain, like it's possessed, doesn't want us up there. But to oblivion with that. If I want to climb a damn mountain, I'm gonna climb it. No pile of rocks is gonna tell me what to do. Avalanche. We'd already lost a few of these grunts before we reached the second marker. Damn near froze solid. By the third marker, we were at half strength. And just before the fourth, that's when things really went south. It was a mess. Snow, hail, wind, ice. I thought the whole damn mountain was gonna fall over. Got hit 5 or 6 times before we tucked tail. Cracked some ribs, collarbone too. But that won't keep me down. I'll beat this mountain yet.
Damn you, Karsten. How am I supposed to make a great discovery when... Oh, hello! I was just thinking about you. You do have a habit of showing up whenever I need help. Perchance you've brought a small army with you as well? Just you? Well, I was hoping for porters and guides and all, but I suppose that I can make do. I'll need to make a few slight adjustments to my plan, but this time we'll reach the Summit of Sorrow, I'm sure of it. The last 3 times, you mean? We set up one camp, but the harpies in the icy wind cut us down each time we climbed higher. A few orcs even wandered into a chasm because they couldn't see more than 2 paces ahead in the fog. Ooh, it all upset me so. To start, head up and present yourself to Karsten while I go check on my lazy manservant Stibbons. We'll meet you up there. And remind Karsten who it is that's actually in charge of this expedition. He can be so uncooperative at times. Why are you still here? Do you need directions or something? We're not just talking about any dead orc. This is Taurig's shrine. Not only was he the founder of the original city of Orsinium, but he was the owner of the armlet of Taurig. Do you know how high my reputation will soar once I recover that relic? According to a scroll fragment I studied, the Armlet of Taurig is a magical bracelet encrusted with gems. With its power, Taurig was able to tame the savage wilderness. It allowed the ancient orcs to establish the first city of Orsinium. The museum in Orsinium has it on display. It only contains a few words in the ancient orc tongue, but I was able to make some sense out of it. It talked about the armlet, the shrine, and something called Sorrow's Kiss. Oh, doesn't that sound romantic?
in the name of Malakath's third tusk are you? Don't you know this is sacred ground? Besides, it's also one of the most dangerous places in all of Wrothgar. You shouldn't be wandering around up here. Oh, she did she? I hope you know what you're getting into. Harpies and ogres are bad enough, but the true challenge of Sorrow is the mountain itself. The wind cuts like a sword, and the freezing mist blinds you. But that's not the worst. Avalanches! Sorrow wields her snow and ice with terrible precision. I've seen strong orcs swept right off the side like scoring a slaughter in 7-pick knockdown. We tried 3 times and lost most of our expedition. We're all that's left. To be honest, I'm not sure. We barely made it this far before we got separated from the others. If you could look for our companions, that would be helpful. Regardless, we have to find Torug's shrine or all these sacrifices will be for nothing. The good orcs, each and every one of them. Expert climbers. But Sorrow isn't an ordinary mountain. Best way to find them? They should have placed markers to indicate avalanche areas. Just follow the markers. Sorrow may not be the tallest mountain in Tamriel, but it's certainly one of the deadliest. That's why the ancient orcs built memorials to their champions on its slopes. The higher the location of the tomb, the greater the sacrifice and prestige. We're looking for the shrine of the great orc hero Torug Groegron. Legend says that Torug's shrine sits at the very top of the mountain as befits the founder of the original Orsinium. But it's so high up that nothing can survive there. Extremely. We've already tried to get up there 3 times. We lost the rest of the expedition and had to turn back before we barely got out of the base camp. But the danger will be worth it if we could find Torug's legendary relics. I work for Orsinium's newly established museum. I'm their resident expert on the time of Torug, so the museum sent me to assist Lady Laurent and her manservant. I always dreamed of visiting the shrine, so I jumped at the opportunity. Her reputation brought her to the attention of the museum, and she loves digging around in old tombs. She has a particular interest in an ancient fragment that talks about Sorrow's kiss. She believes it has something to do with Torug's shrine. At first we got along fine. We both love history and exploring ancient sites. But the woman has been driving me crazy. She lacks the fundamental reverence for the past that separates a scholar from a grave robber. I just don't trust her judgment.
Stibbets, don't you dare put down that firewood. It won't do us any good if it gets wet.
You make a sound point, my lady.
And here we are again, at the foot of Sorrow's insidious climb. With your help, I hope we can make it farther up the mountain this time. If all goes well, we should reach Torug's shrine before Stibbin sets out our evening meal.
I never could stand cold weather. Chills me to the bone. I feel like a frozen icicle.